shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Matty, good to see you again. We'll start with your reflections at the game at Birmingham on Tuesday, a few days on, please.
Yeah, it's. I thought we started the game well. We grew into the game in the first half hour. First half, 0-0. We take that. We've had his chances. Maybe we could have taken them. But second half, for the last 20 minutes, we maybe just lost us solutions how to combat what they were doing, and they got the goal and made it difficult. So overall, first half, I thought we'd give them a good game, and if we score in that first half, it changes the atmosphere, and that's what we need. So yeah, overall, a game of two halves really. I think we started well and we finished poor.
Your manager said before that game he felt he saw a lot of improvements down at Reading, and I know you're on this tricky run at the moment, but as a group of players, have you felt the improvement in the performances?
Yeah, I'd like to think since Reading we're better than the Blackpool game, but prior to that we have in spells done well. It's just the consistency we need to work on. If we can get the consistency and for the Birmingham game, if we can play like we did for the first half an hour for the whole game, I think we'll be okay. So it's just getting that consistency and working out the problems and putting it right.
You must feel though, off the back of those two games, that you're getting closer to getting that consistency, given that uptake in the performances.
Yeah, we're all working as hard as we can. It's not a case of it's not gone right, so we're relaxed, and we are all switched on, and we're all looking to improve and get things how we want them. And the main thing's the results that we need to get right. So yeah, we're using all the previous games to try put things in the right place.
We all know obviously it's about results, and we can understand the fans' frustrations when their team are on a run like this, but you as players must be equally as frustrated.
Yeah, look, it's our lives. It affects me all week if I lose a game, as it does with the rest of the lads. So it's not a case of we've lost a game and we forget about it straight away. We do seem to. It affects. It hurts us, and I'm ready to put that right. I'm not one for sitting about and dwelling on what I want to get out there again and put things right.
How much can you use that as motivation or extra motivation?
Yeah, look, it's results-based business, and us as players don't want to be in losing teams. So yeah, every time I'm training, I'm playing, I'm trying to win the game and leave everything out there to obviously get the results.
I think one of the criticisms from outside over the last couple of years is that the team don't tend to do well with adversity. You've been here for quite a while now, Matty. Do you see that? Can you understand that criticism?
Yeah, I don't understand the criticism, but I'm quite a week-to-week person, so I don't really reflect on what's gone on last year or 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I'm for next week, what's going to happen next week, and that's where my focus is at. If you're looking at the past, it's irrelevant really. It's all done with. I'm looking at obviously the game at the weekend, Barnsley, and then we've got Barnsley again in the cup. So as a footballer, if you start wondering and thinking about, I could have done this, could have done that, then you get stuck, and you've got to look forward and look forward to the games coming up.
For you personally, how have you found being back in that starting 11?
Yeah, it's been difficult. I'm used to playing. I've played quite a few games for the last, all my career really. I've never really been out of the team. So yeah, like I said, I've been looking forward and always looking for that opportunity to get in the team. I like to think I work hard and try to give the manager a difficult decision to make.
We've covering the club since you've come. We've seen you as one of those regular starters in every single week, being amongst the goals as well. When you do have that spell out of that 11, Matty, I know you said it was hard there. How do you keep yourself focused? And I know obviously the motivation will be there to get back in the 11. How do you make sure that you're up to it?
I just feel like it's more. I don't want to come on and let myself down when I do get the opportunity. I feel like you might be mentally ready, but physically you might be off it, so it affects your game. So I've been trying to play in as many behind. I don't know if they like the what's the league?
Like the B team.
Yeah, like the B team, and I think it's called some league. I've been trying to play in as many of them as I can and keep my body physically ready for when that opportunity comes. I take it. And
I guess when you do get that opportunity in the 11, once you've got that shirt, you want to be extra motivated, so you're not letting it go again. Yeah,
that's exactly it. Like I said, as long as I'm focusing on that game, the next game, and giving everything for that, that's all I can do. I can't look too far ahead thinking, in 3 or 4 games time I want to play in that game. You've got to just focus on the next game, give everything there for the win, and move on.
Derby at the weekend, back here, that would be some occasion, wouldn't it, to just stop a slide to these defeats?
Yeah, look, our approach is exactly the same. My approach is exactly the same it has been throughout my whole career. It's obviously to win the game, do everything I can to win the game, and because it's a derby, it obviously puts that little bit of an edge on it, but it's same applies for every game I play in. Try win at all costs, and that's what I'm planning to do.
One of your former clubs. Do you enjoy coming up against former clubs?
Yeah, it's like I say again, it's just another game.
Yeah.
But there's that extra bit to it, and it's a former club. Maybe I didn't really do particularly well there, so it's time to prove a point. But it's another game, and just go out and try and win the game at all costs.
And just going into that game, lastly from me, obviously we understand the frustration from some fans. What would you say to them who are coming down at the weekend to support the team again, going into this weekend's game?
Us as players, we're going to leave everything out there. It's for me, I'm going into the game, whether I'm starting or on the bench, to give everything, support my team, and it's not for the want of trying. I don't think. I think we are exhausting all those options and giving everything for the cause, and it's not an on and off switch. We are full throttle trying to win games.
Good luck for it. Thanks for your time.
Cheers, Louis. We'll go to Stephen from We Are Terriers.
I'd say just one from me. The last few games, maybe Birmingham aside, sort of those defeats have been, Blackpool had 2 shots on target, they both go in. Reading had 2 shots on target, they both go in. Is there an element of bad luck there? Is it mistakes that have been made that are giving up bad chances? What sort of the conversation been around that?
I think not so much luck, but we need to erase the mistakes. We've made a few mistakes. We've looked at ways that to stop them being able to get in certain areas. Overall, we need to start taking our chances. I think we've had shots, we've had chances. I think we need to start taking them, and once we take them, the tide's going to turn. It's not a case of we're getting 2 shots. I think maybe on Tuesday, but that's a tough game. Prior to that, I think we've had plenty of shots. Maybe need to start scoring goals. That's the top and bottom of it. Once we start scoring goals, I think we'll start playing a bit freer, and we'll like the Bolton game, we'll put the games to bed.
One other actually, sorry. You've lost Lee Nichols for a period now. We've had Chappers in goal the last couple of games. Maxie's going back and challenging. Does it change anything as a defender, as a centre back, when you've got a different keeper behind you? Does it present any difficulties? Is there any difference really?
No. Chappers come in, done brilliant. Maxie's more than capable, and he's I think we've got 3 really good keepers. So, regards to us defenders, it doesn't change anything. I think we're lucky to have them 3 as our keepers, and regardless of who plays, it don't change how we play.
Thank you. Thanks, Steve. We'll finish off with Leon from Yorkshire Post. Leon.
Hey Matty, good to talk to you as ever. Yeah, you sort of, it seems to be, you're one of those, you're not bothered about fronting up. I remember you spoke before the Birmingham game last year. I think they brought you out to do press after the West Brom one as well, the home game. You pride yourself on taking responsibility and fronting up in tough times, and I suppose this is another one of those, really.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like the last couple of years it's been the case, but look, I'm not scared of the challenges. Look, I've been out of the team for 8 games, and I've tried. That's a challenge in itself, getting back in the team. Whether it becomes through injury or however it comes, but yeah, we're all ready to face the challenges that come this season. It's not going to be plain sailing, but I'm ready to try and win games for Huddersfield Town and leave it all out there.
And for yourself as well, there'll be a lot of perspective. I mean, it's a case of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You had far worse at the start of your career, didn't you? And I know how you ended up at Barnsley as well. So it's all relative, isn't it? Yeah,
it is. Everyone's at a different stage of their career, I think, at this club, and we've all got points to prove. So we're going to use that within ourselves to get back on track and get where we want to be, and that's at the top end of the table.
Yeah, if you can turn it around team-wise, given obviously last year and the year before that was tough as well, would it mean as much as anything in your career, really? Because there's a group of lads there. You've been through quite a lot, haven't you?
Yeah, it's the same as always. I think when we stayed up a couple of years ago, it meant everything. Before then, it were the playoffs. It meant everything. Last season, it meant everything to stay up, and the objective don't change. It's always it means everything to try and win games and be as successful as possible. It's not a case of we're happy to be sat here and just being mediocre. We want to be challenging. We want to be successful as a group, and that's what I'm looking and trying to do.
I was going to ask you finally, are you one of those who sort of knocks on the manager's door, or you have a word with him, anything like that? I mean, I suppose he's one of those, Michael, if you did speech, he'd give you an honest answer, wouldn't he, really? And he's that sort of manager.
If I had my way, I think I'd knock on his door every day if I wasn't playing, but you got to pick and find your moments. I think if you knock on his door every day, it becomes the same conversation. So I've tried to force my way back in, or tried doing things that try and get me back in the team, basically, and without having to actually speak to him.
Yeah, he's doing everything you can into it, really.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time, Matty, as always. Thank you.
Cheers,
guys. We'll be back with Michael Duff at 3 p.m. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Working and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day. shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Michael, good to see you again. As ever, we'll start with your reflections on the previous game. Improved performance, light down at Reading, but ultimately not the points you would have hoped for. How do you look back on that a few days later?
Exactly that. I think the last two performances have been much better. It wasn't a 90-minute performance. I think with the press was really good in the first half an hour of the game, and they resorted to going long, and then we have to take control of the game at that point. But we didn't keep the ball long enough for long enough periods, so we didn't, where they were making us work, we didn't make them work hard enough by putting a long enough sequence of passes together. Quite a lot of that is down to a little bit of confidence. But physically, really, really good. The attitude, the numbers, physical numbers were really good. So then it's an improvement again. They are the best team in the league, so I don't think that's going to be the market for us at the minute. But the reaction from the two disappointing last two home games has been an improvement. But we have to win again.
It's interesting what you say about confidence, isn't it? And maybe what you said there, do you feel that's an issue? And if so, as head coach, how do you go around solving that kind of issue?
That's just hard work. You can feel sorry for yourself. No, I said it all the time. Footballers are animals of confidence. You know, you can see it sometimes. You see teams and all of a sudden they look like they can run faster, jump higher. Every shot they hit goes in. We're not in that moment. So all you can do is stay calm, believe in the work that they're doing, trying to get them to believe that the work that they're doing on the training ground and the way they execute on the training ground is the way to do it on a match day.
Yeah.
I just keep working hard like that. If there was a magic wand, I wouldn't be sat here. I'd be sitting on a beach somewhere in probably the Maldives or something. So, but that's the same as every football manager. People go through peaks and troughs. We're in a trough at the minute, no doubt about it. But we're still 9 games in. Nothing's decided now, but we need to improve, and we need to put the different aspects of the game together, all for one game.
And those aspects you've seen at Reading and Birmingham on Tuesday, and what you've probably seen in training over the last couple of weeks, do you see those shoots starting to come back and that confidence growing?
The confidence will only come with results, but we can't wait for results. You've got to go and get one. And it's sticking to the things that we believe are right. I think the staff believe the way they're trying to set them up is right. Tactically, the players are trying to do it. They've maybe not executed as well as what we want, but we can see the game plan that's trying to come out. And like I said, I don't think it's a lack of belief in the players in terms of application. It's just a few things have gone against us. We've shot ourselves in the foot a couple of times. We can't pick the same team through each of you. A couple of bad decisions. We've shot ourselves in the foot a few times with things like the silly own goals, referees' decisions, and we can't pick the same team. I might have said that. So they're the facts, but get on with it. You're hopefully going to win a game at some point, but don't wait for it to happen. The same as don't wait to get beat. You got to go out with the same application, the same attitude, the same desire to win every game. And we had that same message when we won the first 4, and the message doesn't change. It's either right or it's wrong. It can't be good 3 weeks ago and not good now. It's the same with the training. The training's either good or it's not. The training doesn't go up and down. Confidence levels go up and down, form goes up and down. But the messaging behind all of that and the tactical analysis and things like that, that's why you have a squad, because players go up and down, players get injured. So there is no right answer other than prepare properly and enjoy the pressure.
I know, and a lot of it, you alluded to it there, they're enforced at times due to the injuries that you've had. How difficult is that for you as a head coach? Just, I know we're so early on, but almost knowing this is my starting 11 week in, week out, this is what I'm happy with, because you've had to chop and change a lot this season so far, haven't you?
Yeah, I can sit here and make excuses till the cows come home. No one's interested. You know, a lot of good players have been out. You know, people, Rodinho, you know, people forget about him because he's been out such a long time. But you know, Misha, Lee, Reece Healy's been out a long time. Bojan's only just coming back. There's the spine of a good team. But the reason why you have a squad is opportunities for other people, and people need to step up and take their opportunities.
Matty Pearson being one of them, who was saying to us if he could have it his way, he would be knocking on your door every single day until he starts. But he said the conversation would get a bit repetitive. Just Matty coming back into the team and that spell he had out of the team, how impressed have you been with his attitude, his application and that desire to get back into that 11?
Walking example of what I talk about, hard work pays you back. So, was he disappointed? Yeah. Did he sulk? No. Did he just get on with his work properly? Did he play every game like it's his last? Yeah. Ends up in the team.
Yeah.
Exactly what we're talking about. So you can only pick 11 players, and you don't have to. I don't expect them to agree with it, but he takes it the right way. So he comes in, we have a chat. What do I need to do? How can I do this? How can I do that? Well, I think you can do this. I think you can do that. But one thing no one's going to question Matty is his character. You know, loads of people have got loads of flaws. And I don't mean this disrespectfully. His character is his best attribute. He reminds me a little bit of myself as a player, which burnt him, I think. Because when I'm saying, you're very similar to me, Matty. And then, well, you couldn't get the team either. But just the way he goes around things, and like he's squeezed. If he was to retire tomorrow, he wouldn't look back on his career and go, I left a bit, I should have done this, I should have done that. And that's the way you should be. He's still got loads to offer. You know, he loves the club, but I don't think it matters what club he's at, if I'm being brutally honest, because I think he just wears his heart on his sleeve, because that's what he is. So with the run that we've been on, you start turning to your characters like that. Like I said, you see a lot about your team, a lot about character. It's all right, so people having a perception of, well, technically he's better at this, and he might be able to do that, and he might be able to do this. In runs like this, you want solid citizens that you think, I know what I'm going to get, and he's exactly been that.
You mentioned similarities, and you're always transparent with us. It seems that way with Matty, and how you've said you can have those honest conversations between people. Is that one of the similarities as well, you see? Yeah,
he's a senior player, so when I leave him out of the team, he's not going to break down in tears in my office. You can have an honest conversation with him. Whereas sometimes you might have to, not the way I really work, but you might have to give shades of the truth and fluff it up a little bit. He wants the honest truth.
Yeah.
Am I going to get in the team? At the minute, no. Why not? I didn't think you were brilliant pre-season, and I didn't think he was. And I think he'd admit he wasn't at his best in pre-season. But the way he watch training every day. You know, he's at it. Right, he needs a chance. You need to give him an opportunity, and he's taken it because he's been good.
What have you made to the opportunity David Kasumu's taken back in the team?
Cass is another one. Again, injury. He sort of got himself to a point where it's easy for me to say it now, but the game that he came on, that he got injured in, he probably started the next game because he's put enough, not doubt in your head, he's put enough credit in your head almost, that now he's doing well enough, we need to give him a go, and that's what you want. You want that competition for places. You don't want to... I'd love to pick the same team every week if it was winning every week. Well, it's not winning every week, clearly. So you're searching almost a little bit and go, because do I know my best 11 yet? No, but I haven't had 25 players fit.
Yeah.
So I haven't had a choice. But no, Cass is exactly what he says on the tin. He brings energy, sometimes loses the ball too easily. But his application, his physicality is different to what we've got. And I think he's been good. He's not a minute's problem in terms of around the place. You don't have to keep tabs on him. Is he cutting the gym? Is he late for this? Is he that? You know, is from my point of view, he's a manager's dream in terms he just goes about his business without. And sometimes he does that in the game as well. He goes about his business, and people might not recognise the actual work that he does, but a lot of the work that he does do is really important work.
When you're saying some of that there, the big word in my mind then was was having trust in those kind of players. And I guess with the side on this difficult run at the moment, it's just keeping that trust amongst you all, isn't it?
I think it's sticking together. You know, we've said to the players, there's been a whole rebranding of the football club, and the big tagline is everything together. Well, it can't come to pieces after a month, and that's the same for the players and the staff. You know, everyone's like, it's all rosy pre-season, we think this is good and we think that's good and we look a good team and we do this and we do that. Well, it can't fall apart in 4 weeks. We need to stick together. We understand frustrations, but there's also no entitlement and no expectancy. Well, we should be there and we should be that. At the minute, we're not, through different reasons, like I said. But it's sticking together, having conversations with the players, which we've had, in terms of how we communicate with them, what the training sessions consist of, are they clear enough, and everything with the relationships have been good. We have to win games. You know, I'm not trying to get anything I say now. I'm fully aware that we have to win games, but all the messaging behind all that, there's a lot of work going on.
One of your former clubs, then, that's the next challenge in Barnsley. And I know there's been a bit of time since you left the football club, and there was some great highs that season. Didn't obviously end the way you would have wanted it to. How do you reflect on that now that you've had a bit of time between being there and now?
I loved every minute of my time there. You talk about picking a club up off its knees and getting clapped off at Wembley in a year. It takes time. Slightly different in terms of it was a relegated team, but most of the team got sold, so there's different sort of circumstances. And I've said it before, when I got this job, I'd probably, for the first time in 30 years, I left school 30 years ago, for this first time I'd probably left too early. But hindsight, you live and learn.
Yeah.
But the actual 12 months that I was there, I don't know what they think of me. They might think me good, bad or indifferent. What I think about them, I absolutely loved my time there. They were great for me. You know, it was a really proud, almost emotional moment, because my team had just been beat at Wembley and we got clapped off the pitch. And the boos and the getting booed off earlier in the season, when we're getting beat 3-0 at home and things like that, to go from there to there was really powerful. But just because it happened there doesn't mean it will just happen here. But on reflection of my time there, I loved it. You know, I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow. We need to win a game. So in terms of a Yorkshire Derby, you know, taking me out of the equation it's got nothing to do with whether it's my old club or not. It's two clubs that want to be in the league above. I said to the players after the game the other day, we need to bring a bit of fire, with the same energy and application, and then hopefully a little bit more quality and a little bit more luck, and we'll win the game. You
mentioned that day at Wembley, and sorry to remind you of it again. Obviously, as a player, you won at Wembley with Burnley and won promotion. Opposite with Barnsley, do you learn more in those finals that you lose than the ones that you win?
I think it was different. As a player and a manager, it's completely different. I'll be honest, talking about referees, but I had an apology from the referee in the two big decisions in that game. We should have had a penalty and we shouldn't have had a man sent off. And then they shouldn't have put 3 minutes up and they scored in 2 minutes and 58 seconds. So I don't think there's any thought anymore that as a staff or the players could have done that day. It just wasn't your day. As a player, you just enjoy the moment, and obviously you have a year in the Premier League, so it was an unbelievable day. But you know, this game it's not about me. It's can my team beat Daryl's team? You know, Daryl, I think I heard him say the other day, he's similar in terms of he doesn't quite know his best team at the minute, a little bit up and down. But Daryl's a good fella. I know a lot of the staff there still. We'll have a beer afterwards no matter what. But it'll be two teams desperate to win the game.
Team news-wise, it feels every time I see you I'm asking about injuries and things. Do you have any fresh concerns for Saturday? Josh Caroma, like I said, he's had a bit of a bad back, which is why he didn't start the other day, and we'll have to see where that's at. He trained today, but it's whether he can manage that pain or not. Positives are Reece Healy was back on the grass today, Danny Ward was back on the grass today, still not ready for the weekend. Yeah. But they're positive signs. So yeah, it's been frustration. I'm sure everyone, the main word at the football club I'd imagine at the minute is frustration, because everyone is frustrated. But it's just another game.
we want to win the game. Obviously, is it the end of the world if we don't? No. Is there pressure on? Yes, but there's pressure in this job. You don't get in this job if there is no pressure.
Best luck. Thanks for your time.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you, Stephen.
Hi, Michael. How's Herbie Kane looking? Is it just to confirm he's not had a new injury or anything? It's just building his fitness back up.
Yeah, Herbie's had a really difficult pre-season. He came back not in the condition that we wanted him to. Let's put it that way. And then he broke down twice. And again, you talk about frustration. I know what a good player Herbie Kane is. We probably threw him in a little bit too quickly against Blackpool. That's the one game where, maybe 2 games that we played, they were better than us on the day. We probably picked the wrong team, set the team up wrong, which we've admitted to. And it was probably a little bit unfair on Herbie in terms of throwing him into that game. Herbie Kane will be a good player for this football club. Doesn't matter what formation you want to play. Doesn't matter what, who's in charge, who's not in charge, who's behind him, who's in front of him. He's a good footballer, and we just need to give him an opportunity so he gives the best version of himself. So, does he come back into the fold? He comes back into the thinking, definitely.
And with Reece, are you expecting? It's great that he's back in training. Obviously, is this an issue that might sort of recur, or are you hoping that it's fixed now? What's his status on that?
Well, he's had a day's training today,
Yeah.
so he's joined in fully. So there's been no limitations of. Obviously, he's done his rehab, then they do a block of work. We just need to manage that. We don't throw him in out of desperation, and it's not fair on him. And it wouldn't be fair on the team either if he can't give the best version of himself. But he's a good player. We know he's a good player, but we've got to keep him on the grass. So he's done a day's training. We'll see where he's at next week. And do I have a timeline in terms of he's got to do X amount of training sessions? I don't have that timeline now.
Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Just give us 1 second and we will get the mic round to Leon. Leon, just give us 1 second, please.
Okay.
Right, fire away.
Hi, Michael. I'm just wondering, interesting what you said. It seems to be yourself and Barnsley, you are in the same boat. You're both sort of searching for answers at this point in the season a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. I think I've not spoken to Darryl, but you see and you hear things, and you're trying to come into a new club. You're finding out lots of different things that you knew. Some you knew that were there. Some you knew. Some you didn't know that were there when you unearth stones and you find problems that you didn't think were there. So I'm sure he's having the same problems. Same problems there. And then trying to find your best 11. Their results have been our results have been consistent. We've either been winning or losing. That's the only consistency has been the inconsistency. So from their point of view, listen, we want to win the game. We're at home. Our last 2 home performances have been really, really disappointing. It's a Yorkshire Derby, so if we can bring the performance of Reading with the intensity of Birmingham, tie it up, and hopefully we'll be okay. But it was going to be a tough game because every game in this league is already.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I covered your time at Barnsley. It was a successful season in the round, but there was some sort of difficulties early. You had the disruption with the fire sale of players. Here it's a different sort of disruption, isn't it, where everything that's getting thrown at you with injuries and not getting a settled side, it's different, but it's still quite a bit of disruption, isn't it?
It's not a sob story. There's different challenges at every football club.
No,
Birmingham got relegated, but they've just signed 17 new players, so they don't have that sort of hangover of the season before, because the team's been completely decimated with quality as well. They've not just replaced 17 players, they've brought in quality players. So that's a different feel at that club. At our club, we've probably only lost 1 or 2. So you've got a group that have been together that with a relegation, and it's tough to change that mentality within the group, within the club. But different challenges at every club. So that's what you're doing. You're unearthing problems that you might not know that were there. And the challenge is, can you get to the bottom of it? Can you improve the players? By improving the players, can you improve their performances? By improving their performances, can you improve the results? That's what we're trying to do.
If you do get any I know there was a bit of feeling with some Barnsley fans when you left. If you do get a bit of stick, it's one of those where you have to just take it on the chin, really, I suppose. Some players make moves that don't work out, and it's probably the same as managers, isn't it, occasionally?
Yeah, it's like I said, if you just want to be liked, don't get involved in football. Supporters are either really with you or really against you. So, like I said, I don't know what reception I'll get, whether I get any reception. Some of them might have forgotten who I was. All I can reflect is in my time at the football club, which was really positive. And like I said, leaving was a mistake, but you live and you learn. I'm not going to live in the past. I moved on. I'm at a different club now. My focus is fully. I wish Darren and them all the best. People like Martin Devaney, I'm still really, really close to. Went for food with Martin a couple of weeks ago. It's not like I cut all ties with the football club, and the owners were great with me as well. But my focus now is at Huddersfield and is to turn it around, because I believe I'm in a privileged position. I've learnt from previous mistakes. I think I've got an opportunity here to build something and then grow with it, which is possibly what I didn't think at Barnsley. But you need to win games along the way, and that's no one's more determined than I am to win some games.
And I suppose with the greatest respect, with a former club, this and that, you've got enough to worry about, haven't you, really, to be interested in noise from elsewhere? Yeah,
it's, again, part of the job is keep the noise out, trust in the work that you're doing. I believe that the work that we do is good over quite a long period of time. It's been successful. I wouldn't consider myself a dinosaur. I don't think I'm stuck in the past, and like I said, the key is improving players, having an emotional connection with the players, which I think we have. I think they think we care. They know we care. I think they care. I don't think we've got a big group. I don't think we've got any zappers in the group, or people that are here just to ruin everything. I don't think we've got that. But there are challenges within this football club that we need to get to the bottom of.
Yeah. Very best of luck, Michael. Thanks for your time. Thank you.
Cheers, thanks, Leon. We'll see you all early on Saturday. Thank you.
Yeah.
Shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.